Hey, what's up guys? So today I would like to do a quick review of Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360. I came across of this laptop just recently and to me it looks super cool. First of all, first thing that I would like to mention is that laptop is super lightweight. It weighs only about 2.4 pounds, which is actually even lighter than the most recent 2023 MacBook Air, the 15-inch one. So let's open it up, the box, to see what's going on inside. So we have a power adapter, the actual laptop here. We have a cable, the charging cable, some instructions manual, the stylus pen as well. Let's see what the laptop is. First of all, it's super, look at this. It's very, very thin. And overall, I'm in love with this design. So the laptop comes with Core i7 12th generation. It has a 16 gig of RAM, 1 terabyte of solid state drive. It also has a full touchscreen FHD. It also flips to 360, as you can see, so it gives you very, very comfortable options to play with that laptop. Also, you can even play some light games while you on the break off the work or the school, which is a good thing as well. And the front webcam is a 1080p. Anyhow, another thing I would like to mention, the actual touchpad, really big, but it's a really funny thing, but when I'm looking at this keyboard, it really reminds me the keyboard of the actual MacBook. Same touch, even design look pretty similar. I don't know why. Anyhow, what I would like to do is, as usual, I would like to tear this baby apart to see what's going on inside. Let's see how it can be repaired if it needed to, or what can be upgraded. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, let's go! Alright guys, so let's start from the bottom side. There are 4 screws which are under the rubber feet, so once you pull them out you would be able to see the screws and carefully remove them. It's just a regular Phillips. Overall, I can tell you that the Samsungs are probably the easiest to repair or upgrade because everything is pretty straightforward. Here I'm using the actual suction cup and I try to lift at least one side and then work my way out and carefully separate the internal clips. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible so I don't damage them. Here is the internals of the laptop. We have daughter board, it looks like 4 speakers, the motherboard, 2 cooling fans, 1 heatsink, the battery. First thing first, I'm gonna be disconnecting the battery connector to make sure there is no electricity goes to the motherboard and there's no shortages. It's a pretty simple snap-on connection, so be very gentle and just by pulling it slightly and disconnect it from the motherboard. There are a few screws which I'm gonna be removing in order to remove the battery out. Based on my research, the battery for this model runs up to 11 hours. Here it is. Also, every single part, it will contain a sticker with a particular part number, which you need to use as a reference in order to purchase the new one. Let's say if any of them fails and you need to replace it. Now I will be removing 25 billion screws from the heatsink and cooling fan. Another
very important part, I would like to mention that if, let's say, you disconnecting the heatsink from the motherboard for the reason of replacement or just a simple cleaning, I would highly advise you to clean the old thermal paste and reapply a new one. Otherwise, the heatsink will not perform properly and will not cool the processor as it should. So here is the heatsink, and again there is a sticker with the part number, so if in case you need to replace it. And now I will be disconnecting the SSD drive. Another great thing on this laptop, actually, if it fails, you can replace it, or you also can upgrade it, install simply the larger size storage on it. The memory RAM is not replaceable, so it's built into the motherboard, so you're basically stuck with a 16 gig for this particular model. Now I will be disconnecting the LCD screen. There is only 2 connectors on both sides, and there are 3 screws on each hinge, which I will be disconnecting right now. Actually, this is probably the easiest LCD assembly replacement I ever had. Very, very easy. So just once you pull the screws out, you flip it open just to release the hinges and remove the last screw on both sides, and the screw will pop out like a butter. Here we go. And again, if in case you have a cracked digitizer or damaged screen, you would need to replace the complete assembly. Again, the assembly is super thin and delicate, so it would be almost impossible to take it apart without damaging anything else. So here is the keyboard connection, the connector for the touchpad. And now I'm going to be disconnecting the antenna cables, which are attached to the Wi-Fi card, and the actual Wi-Fi card is built into the daughter board here. There is a snap-on connection for the speakers. To be honest with you, that's the first time I think that's some kind of new connectors that they're using, because I never seen them before. Be very, very gentle and pull very gently, because otherwise you can rip off the actual connector which is built into the motherboard. Now I will be disconnecting the actual daughter board and removing few screws. So the daughter board contains SD card reader, audio port, 1 Type-C port, and obviously the Wi-Fi card. So if any of them fails, you can simply replace that daughter board, and the laptop will be back and running. Most of the times they hardly ever break, so they will be fairly cheap. Here it is from both sides. Again, look for the part number in order to replace it and order the proper part. Now I will be disconnecting the motherboard. There are a few more screws to pull, and we should be up and running. And like I said, overall it was a very easy disassembly. All the screws were Phillips, the same caliber, so we did not need to change the size of the bit, and everything went super smooth and fast. So here is the motherboard on both sides. I do another zoom here, and there are 2 Type-C ports attached. And that's the sticker with the part number, so if in case you need to replace the motherboard. On top right corner there are the memory RAM, and here is the touchpad. So if in case the touchpad fails, it looks like the actual touchpad and a keyboard, they are permanently attached to the Palmrest. So if any of them fail, you would have to replace complete assembly.